Welcome back to Integrated, a podcast for entrepreneurial couples who want to have a really strong partnership, a really great family life, and do really meaningful, impactful work in the world.
Yes, yes. I am Jayson.
And I'm Ellen.
And we're your hosts, and we care so much about you having an awesome relational life.
Yeah, the world needs good partnerships, good families that work well and know how to handle each other and enjoy each other.
Yeah, amen. We need people that know how to work through challenges.
Yeah.
And you're one of those people because you've built a business or many businesses. Maybe you've started a family and you've probably gotten into the weeds because it's challenging. So we want you to apply the same mindset you apply in your business, which is like some kind of growth mindset, right? To your marriage, to your most important relationship. And in doing so, we think you'll have a better time.
Yeah, we're here to help you do that.
Today, we're talking about fairness. Yeah, what is going on with fairness?
Fairness. People get upset about their partnership, something in the partnership, if it feels unfair. It's upsetting. They
start to keep score. Or they have just like, you're doing more, I'm doing less, I'm doing more, you're doing less, and it just doesn't feel fair.
We have some discrepancy here that's starting to feel bad, and I'm starting to maybe resent you, or just get, we don't know how to resolve it. It just seems like angering, upsetting, something. And it's people don't like feeling like things are unfair.
Yeah.
Especially in their most important relationships.
Yeah, we'll dive into that here in a moment. And we think this fairness conversation can be a symptom of just not having a good connection and not prioritizing each other in the relationship.
Yes.
It just starts to come out sideways and it feels unfair.
Right. There's more to it than just, well, let's make this more fair.
Yeah, let's make a spreadsheet where I do this 10 times and you also do this thing 10 times.
Right.
And then we're even.
Yeah. It's not realistic.
Yeah, that's just silly.
That we're going to divide everything equally and do everything the same, but equally. It's just not going to work that way. Life is way too complicated. Our lives and as individuals, we're way too different to do that.
But it's understandable because if you think of kids developmentally, just watching our two kids, they do kind of think, I should get as much as you, whatever the thing is, as much ice cream.
As my brother or my sister.
Or I should have the same toy that they have. Yeah, as my brother or sister.
Yeah.
Kids think this way. It's a developmental kind of appropriate thing.
Yeah.
For children to be like, hey, I want things to feel fair.
Right. Or I shouldn't have to share.
Yeah.
That too. It's like, it all kind of goes together. This like, this is mine, or give me that, or why does she get that when I don't?
Yeah.
And feeling really, and noticing, like really noticing this stuff, right? If you have kids, they notice this stuff, and especially amongst their siblings. And that's really normal. I think that's really normal. It's developmentally very appropriate that kids are noticing what's happening out here. How do I get the resources I need? What is mine? What is sharing? How does that work?
Yeah.
It's complex. There's a lot to learn there.
I mean, you grew up in a bigger family. Would you say you felt like things weren't fair at times?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I wouldn't say my parents quite knew how to handle that.
No, they didn't.
So, I mean, they had 5 kids. So, I mean, what do I have to say? That's 5 kids is a lot to handle.
Oh my God.
So I think that, that was all over the place. Yeah. Fairness as kids. And then I guess if it doesn't get dealt well, maybe we grow up struggling with it too. Feeling like, this has to be a certain way, or else, there's just a lot more. I think we bring up the kid part for a reason, like why kids react to this. We're just trying to say, humans react to this. We have a part of us that is trying to figure out, am I safe? Do I have what I need? Are the people I depend on really there for me? Can I really count on you? Am am I getting as much from this situation as you seem to be getting? And especially in a mutual partnership, which is different than a family, kids and parents. You really are coming in as equals. You are joining together. You're on the same level. You should be sharing power and authority. Most people like it that way. Like, hey, this is our relationship. We have a mutual investment in it. And so when that starts to feel off, that it just activates, I think, that part of us that really gets anxious about, wait, am I going to be okay? And am I in a situation that's good for me or not?
Yeah. I'm thinking of an example, a couple, just to throw out an example here, just came to mind where they're a young couple, 2 kids, and the dad had been out of town. He came back. And so the wife is like, okay, he should take over because I've been with the kids all week.
Right.
He gets home and then he starts to feel unwell and wants to take a nap. And so he's like, and he's hanging out with his guy friends. He has plans to hang out with his guy friends that night, which is really poor planning on his part. But whatever. So naturally they get in a huge fight because she felt like it wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been holding it down all week. You come home and you're like kind of entitled and you need a nap, a little man nap. And and you're going out with your friends tonight? Like, dude.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
So this is again a symptom.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and it sort of gets at where we're headed, which is, did they agree to that? Did they plan for that? Did they collaborate around what should the reentry look like? What are our expectations?
No, they blew the reentry.
Yeah.
And they didn't account for, of course, who can, that he's not feeling well.
Sure. That's a variable you can't.
Curveball.
Yeah. Right. There's, oh gosh, I just have so many ideas about how to handle that, but I know that's not what we're talking about today. So.
Well, maybe we could weave it in as we talk about solutions. Yeah, maybe we could. Yes. Because we're sort of agitating the problem here, just talking about it. It's frustrating. Talking about kind of why we act this way. And then we're going to give you a question that's really, really important for you to change this dynamic moving forward.
I think we should also talk about too, like, because it's inevitable that somewhere over time, something's going to feel unfair. Maybe one of you is going to feel like you're doing more or you're contributing more in some way, or you're dealing with more, something like that than your partner. And then how do you navigate that?
Yeah.
Like that should be part of what we talk about. And, cause that could happen. We can't just completely avoid this idea.
Agreed. And it comes, we want you to focus on obviously the big areas like money, finances, home, kids. These are just some of the big areas. Dealing with maybe our social life or
logistics and planning, and
it often does come out here, or it comes out with emotional connection around conflict repair. Someone feels that hey, I'm owning my part, but how come you're not owning your part?
Right.
That could be a way it comes out relationally, and a way it comes out maybe logistically is I'm doing more. I do the dishes, I clean the kitchen way more than you do, and it's very frustrating because I feel like you're not pulling your weight, and that feels unfair to me.
Yeah. And we want to help you get out of the weeds of unfairness. It's a really exhausting argument to be in. It's really, if you think that's the main issue, we want to help you see that there's a bigger issue underneath that's actually going to help you kind of get through this whole thing. Yeah. Right. It's not just it's not like, okay, well, you need to do the dishes 3 nights a week and I'll do it 3 nights a week. Like that is like, could be part of it, let's say. But there's a bigger way we want you to look at this, because if you're just getting in this quid pro quo, like our life is about who does what and how much. And if any of that is off, then we're facing off.
Yeah.
You're missing some big stuff about partnership, and we want to help you with that.
Yeah.
People want things to feel equitable. People want things to feel mutual. Yes. And there's ways to get at that we want to help you with, that are not just about counting how much one person does or how much money one contributes or whatever, how many hours one spent doing something.
And just notice what your pattern is when things do feel unfair. Do you tend to go into blame? Do you defend yourself? Do you, what do you do? We want you to also recognize, like, okay, I tend to blame. I score keep, and I want things to, I'm actually counting the times they've cleaned the kitchen, and I am kind of keeping track behind the scenes, and then I'm going to pull that out in a fight as evidence. Like, do you do that? What does your thing look like?
Or do you also kind of notice, but you're like, oh, I would never say because I don't want to rock the boat, or I don't want to create friction, or they're just going to get upset, but you're still noticing, or you still feel kind of resentful, and you just don't quite know how to bring it up or talk about it and have it improve anything. There's that kind of more silent person too.
Yeah.
That would never bring it up.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things, maybe we can talk about solutions.
Okay. Yeah.
Should we move into that?
Yeah, let's go there.
So one of the things that we notice couples time and time again don't do very well is they don't talk about how things are done in the relationship. There's no vision or agreement about how we're operating as a team, And so they fall into this scorekeeping or the fairness conversation. I'm doing more than you are. I'm owning my part, you're not. Instead of how do we want to operate as a couple?
Yeah.
How do we, like, if things start to feel unfair, how do we want to handle that?
Yeah.
In our marriage?
Yeah. Is that important for one, or is that important for us to bring up? If that starts to happen for one of us, like there's a lot to talk about here. It's sort of like, I'm thinking about how, like, if you've ever lived with a roommate, and you're like, oh, I met this person and they seem cool, and I'm going to move in and it's going to be great. And
oh my God,
and you get in there and you're like, oh my God, they're a slob, or oh my God, they never, whatever. They always, or they're such a neat freak, or they're so late. They're up so late and playing their music, or like whatever it is. There's so many things, right? And then you're like stuck with like, how am I going to deal with this? Oh my God. And for so many of us, that stuff didn't go very well. Like, because a lot of people don't know how to field difficult feedback or to make room for someone else. It's like, well, this is my house too, and I can do whatever I want.
I'm paying the same amount as rent as you, and so I should be able to have the freedom.
So sadly, this is actually, it's hard to deal with it. And I'd say the partners are sometimes in a similar situation where they're like, God, this has never gone well. Maybe they'll, so I think what you're saying is awesome, because it starts to, we want to cue you as a couple to think about, like, talk about how you want your relationship to operate. We're going to do another podcast on just more underlying principles about having a good relationship, which is like, what are we up to here? Why would we share our lives and come together in this way? Like, there's big questions to look at as a couple, but around fairness, it's really like, how do we want to, if something starts to feel unfair, how should we handle it? Is that something you'd want to know? For me as a partner, I would want to know that. Yeah. If you felt like something was unfair here, I'm like, let's talk about it. Yeah. And so, we want you to start thinking about, have you even set this up as something that you get to talk about? Or is it something you just kind of passive aggressively say when you're feeling annoyed?
Yeah, it comes out sideways. Or again, you're stuffing it, and then you explode or you implode, or all of a sudden you're divorced, and it's like, well, we just couldn't get along. And it's like, well, did you ever try to have agreements? No, we just... Right.
Turns out that getting on the same page about how to deal with conflict, which really is what this is, or how to deal with differences. You like things louder, I like things quieter. We're going to have to figure out how to live together well, right? So all kinds of differences are going to show up. And can we start to just have these conversations? Do we even do that? So that's one place to start.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be reacting to each other in the moment. And so we're just saying, hey, step out of the argument and have a conversation about the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think there's a great question we came up with, Ellen. What is it about? It's like an invitation for them to explore.
Yes. Well,
which I think is directional.
Yeah. Why don't you speak to it?
Okay. Yeah. So here's the question we want you to write down. You got to write this down. Okay. So pull over if you're listening to this in a car.
Or just come back
to it. Write this down. Can we argue that whatever, okay, let's do it this way. Sorry, delete. Can you argue that whatever you're doing is good for myself, you, meaning your partner, and us, both of us, our relationship?
Yeah.
And then can you continue to revisit that?
Yeah.
So let's repeat the question. Can either of us argue that whatever we're advocating for is good for me, my partner, and the relationship?
Perfect.
And if you can revisit that for the life of your relationship from time to time, we believe this is getting back into episode 2, where we talked about the essential framework, which is this standing for 3 concept that we're offering here. We believe that if you can orient around this principle of navigating and a way of being, a practice, we believe it's going to really dramatically help.
Yeah, well, it will, because it's based on security. It's based on the idea of secure functioning, that a couple who is making sure that they're considering their partner, that they're staying curious and interested in who their partner is and what their interests are, and that they're both looking out for that. They're both looking out for the well-being of each other and the relationship, that couple is going to do better longer over time and enjoy each other more and enjoy life more. This is based on security.
Yeah.
And so we know that this will help, and that this will help to start to get you out of repetitive fights about some of the things that you think are unfair or the differences you have just as human beings, and get you into a more shared idea of, okay, I've got to kind of at every step of the way, I've got to consider this person that I am deeply connected to, definitely dependent on, and emotionally, psychologically, and maybe in other ways. You know, if you're parenting or you're sharing finances and all of that, you're depending on each other to be a lot of things for each other. And so can you look out for that person, look out for yourself?
Always, yeah.
You can't drop that. And can you together also look out for your relationship? And whatever we do is good for all of this. And this is a complex question and a complex way of thinking, but you're in a partnership. It requires that.
Yeah.
It requires us to be more complex. When we're dealing with another human being, especially one who's dependent on us, we've got to up-level the way we move through the world. It's not just about us anymore. You know this if you have a partner. You know this if you have children. It really changes your worldview. All of a sudden, you have all these other things you have to consider and think about. You know, when it comes to just like what you're doing for today or what you're doing next year or how you're doing everything, it's impacting people's lives that live with you. So
yeah. So if we go back to the example I said where the guy, you know, came home from the trip and just wanted to take a nap because he wasn't feeling well and he had an evening with the guys. Had he asked this question, is this good for me? Yes. Check. That's easy.
Yep.
Is it good for my partner? Well, the nap, probably not. She's probably been holding the kid all week and dealing with so many things. She probably needs a break. And I'm going out tonight, so this probably isn't good for her, which means it's probably not going to be great for us.
Which it wasn't.
And so naturally a fight ensues.
Yeah.
But had he pumped the brakes a little bit and said, you know, I want to take a nap and I want to go out with my friends, but I don't think that's very good for you, which in turn, it's not going to be good for us. Can we talk about how I can get rest, you can get rest, and then when a good time would be to see my friends? Can we have that conversation? You know, that's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Versus just doing it. Right.
Yeah. Making those decisions
Thinking about
by yourself.
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Which the entrepreneurial
and just
male
assuming,
is very
assuming your partner's going to support you in whatever is good for you.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
Right.
Our partners want to feel considered. Like I'm guessing if he had brought this to her, like, hey, I know you've been, you know, holding everything at home by yourself this week, which is enormous. And, I'm coming home. I'm really not feeling well. I feel like I need to take a nap. How would that, you know, how would that impact you? How can I think I've got to get some rest, and I'm sure you do too. So could we talk about how we can both get rest? And, oh, I'm realizing I made this plan tonight. I really want to do it with my friends. That might not be great timing for you and us. Can we talk about that? Because once people feel considered, like she might be like, oh, well, but if we hang out tomorrow night, I'd love to connect with you tomorrow night if I know that that's happening. If he was like, yes, absolutely. Like, you have no idea what people will come up with once they feel like you've kept them in mind, you've considered them, and that you're thinking about them and you want to collaborate and work with them on on really anything. Yeah. That goes sometimes a long way. That goes a long way. I think that goes miles. I mean, I see that all the time.
Yeah, that works with
couples. You. It works great with me. I love that. Because I want you to do what's good for you, but I don't want it to come at the expense of me.
Yeah, of course not.
Or my energy, or what I had in mind, or what I thought we were up to, or, like we have to communicate that well. And a lot of times when people are talking about like we need to communicate better, it's really this deep consideration that they aren't doing.
Yeah.
And people think they just have to kind of say their case more eloquently or something. Get another tool, or like, how do I make them understand? And I'm like, you start by showing them that you care about them, and you're interested in your partner and what it might be like for them, and that you're willing to cooperate. I mean, that is huge. That's huge, huge. So someone could be cool with being the cook for the family if they arrange that collaboratively with their partner.
Yeah.
That same person might not be cool with it if it never gets talked about, and it's sort of just this unspoken assumption that seems like it never got really like overtly worked on, right? And so sometimes things don't even have to change that much. People just want to know that they're being thought of and kept in mind. Other times things do need to change for everyone to feel better, for someone to take more action in the family or action in the marriage or whatever, can actually feel really good for someone who was struggling to do that.
Yeah.
But it's different if someone chooses that versus being like dragged or shamed for not doing enough. That makes
completely
sense.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure before we wrap up here, I think maybe you had another way even that we could work with this couple.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Earlier you were like, oh, there's so many things I want to do.
Oh, I think it was about, how he, like, when you realize you've set something up just for yourself.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh no. There's just a way to come in and be like, hey, I realize, like, sometimes you've done this where you've like made plans or you've scheduled things and you come and tell me like, hey, I scheduled this thing. Like, you scheduled something on our anniversary.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you could just, and we had to
if I would have just added the sentence, can I try it right now?
Yeah, let's see
if I
how it goes.
See if I got it. Yeah, I came in and was just like, hey, yeah, I'm doing this thing. And Ellen was like, that's on our anniversary. And I was like, right. So instead of that, I could say, hey, I want to do this thing. And one of the only dates I can do it falls on a really bad date for us. And it's our anniversary. And I want to have a conversation about that. I'm open to not doing it at all, not doing it on that date.
Yeah, if that was really important to me.
Yeah. And our anniversary is important to me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to show you that by talking about it right now. Like, hey, this matters.
Yeah.
And I don't like that the timing is like not syncing up.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, and then together we could figure out like, well, what's the thing and how important is it to you? And could we have a date another night that week? Like, there's lots of options.
Yeah. How important is it that we do our anniversary on the actual date versus the next day or the day before? How flexible are we? What's happening this year or this in our marriage, and what's important to us? I mean, it could be different all the time. Yeah. So I made the classic mistake, right, of just coming in, just me, myself, and I, informing Ellen. It's just not good. Yeah. And you were like, yeah, I know. It's our anniversary. I was like, okay. I said that? It was, I don't know if that's what you said, but we had to back it up. We did. And I immediately realized it as I came out of my mouth. Yeah, you were like, oh. So we're going to do these things. And if you have a system for handling it, it's
it does not have to become a huge fight. It's like, wait, hold on. That's not how we make decisions. And then, you're like, right. It wouldn't work for you if I came to you in that way. And so, but yeah, we aren't always extremely mindful.
Yeah. And if you are clearing out your quote fights or resentments along the way and you're good at talking about hard things, there's not a big pile for it to activate. You know, like a wasp's nest when you're like, oh, I just brought this little teeny thing up and now you're overreacting. That's this huge deal. What's this huge deal? Because neither of you has dealt with and knows how to deal with hard conversations very well. You never repair. You just kind of have a glass of wine a couple of days later and you hope time, heals the wound.
Yeah. Yes, it's so true. Like,
and then it just festers, like an open scab and you're scratching
it's so true. If that was like the 10th time I'd felt like you weren't prioritizing me and us, I could have gotten really mad.
Really mad.
But that's not how you roll on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. So there isn't like a big buildup there.
Yeah.
It's like,
thank God.
Yeah. But we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, we have to practice just good communication through the hard stuff regularly.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, really. Definitely go back and listen to episode 2, just because it'll give you a deeper cut on this whole framework we're talking about, the standing for 3 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And ask that question. Really listen to that part again, talk about it, and start to make decisions from that place.
Yeah. Because we're basically saying, if something feels really unfair in your relationship, we want you to go into the foundation of your relationship and ask yourselves, are we really setting ourselves up well as a couple to feel and to behave and demonstrate all the ways that we're both invested in this relationship and this being good for both of us? Are we collaborating in a way that is moving us towards the kind of relationship we want to have? Like, we're asking you to look a little deeper at the foundation and that, because if you just are dealing with this thing about the dishes or a thing about childcare, and those are important things, like they are, because they're day-to-day stuff, right? But they're not the whole thing. And it's couples who are having those little kind of quote unquote little feelings of unfairness are often missing this deeper way of addressing the ongoing question of how do we work together as a couple, together for each other, for the purpose of this partnership.
Yeah. Yeah. And we believe this question that we're asking in this podcast is going to help you get at that foundation and start operating differently versus getting lost in surface level fairness arguments.
Yeah. Right. Because probably on some level, you're not feeling as much of a team as you could. Yeah. You're not feeling as together as you could. You're not feeling as integrated as you could.
That's right.
And that's going to have you both feel better, stronger, more oriented. And then when things are out of balance or busy or someone's juggling a lot and someone's off doing something else, you can reset. You're going to be like, hey, let's come back and let's make sure we're getting reset here. Will you say the question one more time?
You got it.
Of what?
Okay.
This is just to.
Yeah. Parting question here is, can I argue that whatever I'm doing is good for me, my partner, and the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. Small things, big things. And we're talking about being that considerate. Okay. You're a team now. You're not single anymore. So you got to behave like a team, like a teammate, which is a person who actually cares about and is considerate of the impact of their behavior on their partner and their partner's needs, priorities, values, interests, all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, honey.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.